Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I spend 1 hour at the beginning of a semester to help plan for a class and how that helps me get an A+ in the class. Welcome back to the channel guys, my name is Koda and my mission is to help students become the Zen Pre-Med. Basically this is a student who is able to escape hustle and grind culture, get top grades, and still enjoy their life in college. So for some background, in high school and early college, I would often go through semesters where I wouldn't know what assignments were due beforehand, whether that be homework, whether that be essays, whether that be exams themselves. And I would often find that I would have a lot of rushing near a deadline, not enough time preparing for tests, and my grades would often suffer for this. And the worst part about this is that since I wouldn't do this for multiple classes, I would often go into those classes, and in the middle of the semester, when everyone decided to schedule their exams at the exact same time, I would be rushing to find time to prep for all the exams. And often that led to worse grades, it led to a lot more stress, and it was just a lot more stressful than it had to be, right? So in this video, I'm going to teach you the technique I use to get better grades, and all it requires is just an hour or two at the beginning of your semester, so you can plan for your class ahead of time. Okay, so what is this technique? This technique relies on a syllabus, so basically every college class I've taken will give you a syllabus at the beginning of the semester. It's basically just a long document, and it tells you, first of all, how they grade stuff in the class, which is super important. It tells you what homework assignments there are, what exams there are, what essays are due, whatever assignments are relevant for that class. It tells you exactly when they're due. It tells you the expectations for each assignment usually, and it is super helpful to go through this document. I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends, and me as well, often treat this as like a side sort of document. It's not really important, and people might reference it throughout the semester, but if you look at this at the beginning of the semester, then you'll find that you'll save so much more time, you'll save a lot of stress, and you'll be able to do well on your assignments because you'll know exactly when they are. Okay, so what exactly do I do? I take the syllabus and I might even print it out, I might keep it on my laptop and have a notebook next to me. And what I like to do is go through that in a ridiculous level of detail, right? And so for me, that means putting in when all the assignments are due, when exams are, putting in the exact grading expectations, because some assignments and exams aren't super important, right? So I remember for one of my neuroscience classes, we had these cumulative quizzes that were, you took them home and then you did the assignment at home with all your notes, and you had unlimited times to take it, right? And so if I hadn't looked at that in the syllabus, I might have been anxious and like had a block of time prepared to study for that. But interestingly, because I knew that it was like an open note thing and it was more like a progress check, I knew that I didn't have to do those assignments with as much rigor as I would have to prepare for like an actual exam, right? Just by going through a syllabus, you'll be able to figure out little details like that. And if you figure out those little details, you'll find that your entire experience throughout the semester will be so much easier. Okay, so what exactly do I do with the syllabus? I basically split it into two categories, right? So one category is gonna be your recurring assignments. That's gonna be like your pre-class homework, your problem set that might be due every week, post-class assignments, stuff like that that's recurring at least every week, every 2 weeks even. And then I'll also have a category for one-time assignments. So these are your exams, your papers. Those are the main things, maybe your final exam as well. Hey guys, short break from the video, but if you like study advice that's geared towards helping you achieve the highest grades possible and save your time, then check out the first link in the description. It's a link to my program with full guides and tutorials on how to become a Zen Pre-Med. And it's the same system that helped me achieve a 4.0 GPA, a 523 MCAT, and medical school acceptances as well. There's no pressure to sign up, but currently it's on pre-sale, so it's 50% off. So click the link below again to become the most effective student possible. Now back to the rest of the video. First, I keep my recurring assignment into an autopilot schedule on my calendar. I'll show the specifics of an autopilot schedule in a future video, but basically what this means is before each class, so let's say I have class on Tuesday and Thursday. If I have to do an assignment before each class, that means I'll have to do an assignment on Monday and I'll have to do an assignment on Wednesday, right? So maybe at 5 p.m. on Monday, Wednesdays, I have free time at the exact same time. And so I'm gonna put in a block, like an hour of time, where I'll put finished pre-class assignments for class A. In that, I'll do the assignment and I'll have that blocked out literally every single week for the rest of the semester at the beginning of the semester. So that way I know, hey, like I just need to sit down and do this assignment. Maybe I'll move it around in the middle of the semester. Let's say one day I have a commitment at 5 on Monday. Maybe I'll do it at 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. instead. But the basic idea is that you have that block scheduled in your calendar, and if you have it scheduled in your calendar, that means you know you have to do it at some point. So instead of thinking about, oh, do I have to do an assignment for this class or do I not have to do an assignment, you already know what recurring assignments you have to get done before your class starts. Great. So then you have your one-time assignments, right? So this will be your exams, your papers, maybe like a final exam, other stuff like that. What I like to do with one-time assignments is to put them onto my calendar as well. So I'll put like whatever days the assignment is. So if exam's on the 14th of November, I'll put it on the 14th of November. Usually I like to put it at the top of my calendar. So like there's like a little taskbar at the top of your calendar. But you can also put it in the class section, it doesn't really matter. But I also like to put this on a to-do list. So I use Todoist, and I will also go into how I like to organize my to-do list in a future video. But basically, in Todoist, I'm able to put a date and time, and I'm able to assign it to a specific class or category. And I also, in addition to putting in a reminder for the actual date of the exam, I like to put in a reminder 2 weeks before that. And basically what that earlier reminder will be is to make like a study guide or a study schedule or a schedule to write my paper if it's a paper. And so I like making a study schedule about 2 weeks before an exam. And then over the course of that 2 weeks, I'll like block off little hours of time. So maybe 1 hour, 2 hours on separate days and spread them far enough apart. Doing that will enable me to make a schedule that fits for me and also keeps into account my other commitments that are going on at that time. And then lastly, you just want to repeat this for every single class you have, right? So even your small classes, even your humanities classes, whatever you think is not important, still repeat this. If you know when every class and when stuff is due for every class, then you'll know in advance when your hard weeks will be, and you'll be able to portion enough time for everything to get done. And by portioning enough time for everything to get done, then you might have this one semester, the 1 week in your semester, in the middle of the semester, where you have every single assignment due, but at least you know that ahead of time, right? So you might decide, hey, 2 weeks before, I'm gonna get started on this paper and get it done a week before it's actually due, just so I don't have to do it later on when I get a lot more busy, right? So I think that's the biggest advantage of this. And I think it really helps you to organize yourself and do your assignments without as much stress. Okay, so my call to action for you guys. Don't throw away your syllabus when you first get it, whether that be online or in person. Use your syllabus instead before the school year starts to help plan out your entire semester, and you'll see your grades skyrocket as you're never really caught off guard with when assignments are due or when you have to get anything done or when your exams are. Okay, so please leave a comment down below if you had any success or if you have any questions on how to implement this. Give a like and subscribe to the channel if it helps you out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.